I believe that we're all ready.
We are ready to go.
Okay. Well, welcome to the Sarpy County Personnel Policy Board. Today is April 17th, 2024. The meeting is now open at 3:58. A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the north wall of the county boardroom. Can I get a roll call, please? Jonathan?
Present.
Okay. Randy?
Here.
George?
Here.
Okay. And Diane?
Here.
Hey, thank you. And also attending, I'd like to get a roll call, please, for Carrie Plummer.
Here.
Okay. And Mary Davis.
Here. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Also, we have Kate Gatewood from
She
the
is-
County Attorney's Office.
She is currently not here.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Okay, so we'll start with the agenda item for today. Item 1 is the approval of the minutes of February 14th, 2024's meeting. Was there any questions, any discussions about those meetings? Minutes? Okay.
Motion to approve.
All right, thank you. We have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, thank you. Motion to approve meeting minutes from February 14, 2024. So we're going to go ahead and move to item 2.
No, we get to show our votes.
Oh, the short vote, oh, sorry.
Go ahead and do your votes.
All right, motion carried.
I need one from Diane.
No, you gotta do it on the computer.
Got it, sorry.
Computer.
I know they changed it.
5 yea, motion carries.
Motion carried. Thank you. We'll go ahead and move to item 2 on the agenda, discussing and make recommendations on revisions to the personnel rules and regulation, Rule 12, types of leave regulation, to be determined personal leave by the HR Director, Mary Davis.
Hello, board members. This first, or item number 2 on the agenda deals with a new regulation called personal leave. And basically, this is a recruiting tool that we would like to implement for members in the classified service for new hires. When they're first hired, you know, as any new employee, they don't have a lot of vacation. They don't have any vacation on the books. So 40 hours of personal leave would allow that new hire to take some time off if they need to during that first year with the approval of the department head or elected official. Once they have reached their 1-year anniversary, that leave would be transferred to their vacation bucket, if you will. If they happen to separate before the end of their first year, then it's a use it or lose it benefit. That benefit would go away and it would not be paid out.
So it's not really classified as PTO then?
Correct.
Okay. And then after the first year, then is it classified as PTO or is it, or you're not using that?
I'm sorry, what was that again?
After the first year and it gets put into a different bank, is that then classified as PTO or?
It would be classified as vacation.
Vacation,
It would be
okay.
transferred to their vacation bank.
Yep.
Is there any requirement on using the personal leave or any accrued vacation before they use their personal leave?
No, they would use this while they're accruing their time off.
Okay.
So, and then after that first year, it just kind of go, if they don't use it, it's gone, or it gets transferred into the, but then.
Right. So if they don't use that, if they don't use any time off on that first year, it would be transferred to their vacation bucket.
Okay.
Will the employees in conjunction with this 40 hours, will the employees earn their annual leave along with, once they've reached their probationary period?
Correct. So upon hire, they would be accredited with this 40 hours. And then they also start accruing their paid time off.
And I know they can't use that right away. There's a little bit of time frame, I thought, before they could use that.
Yeah, it's really up to the discretion of the department head elected official as to when they can use that. that time off. But this is really a recruitment tool. We've had, a lot of people entering the workforce. Time off is really important for that work-life balance, so this helps with that.
I think it'd be very beneficial as a recruitment tool to get people to come to Sarpy County, so, yeah.
Will this affect anybody through the law enforcement center?
No,
Okay.
it does not affect any union members.
Okay,
So it's just the non-union classified employees.
okay, thank you.
Okay.
Do you need a motion to approve?
Yeah, I didn't know if, okay. Any other further discussion about this agenda item? And also, Mary, were you contacted by anyone to request to make comments?
Not on this item, no.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to approve item 2 on the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the paid personnel leave to add 40 hours to new employees.
All right,
I'll second.
all right. A second? Go ahead. We'll go ahead and do the vote.
Four yea, one abstain, motion carries.
All right, motion carried. Thank you. Let's see here. We'll go ahead and move to item 3 to discuss and make recommendations on revisions to the Personnel Rules and Regulations Rule 12, Types of Leave, Regulation 10, Professional Leave, presented by Mary Davis, the HR Director.
Sure, this proposal, it's really twofold. It deals with the professional leave provision and then also the next item, which is our vacation. They kind of go hand in hand. With the professional leave, the recommendation is to remove the professional leave. And just to give you a little bit of history of what that is that classified employees, exempt classified employees receive 24 hours of professional leave a year, or up to 24 hours at the discretion of the department head. That's, and the reason for that is because they don't receive overtime pay, and sometimes they work longer hours on special projects or whatever the case may be. So this is an opportunity for the department heads to allow them some additional time off.
Okay.
It has been recommended that the personal leave, the professional leave be eliminated and phased out over the next couple of years. That's how it ties into the vacation piece. So the proposal is as of May 1, anyone that has used any of if they have not used any of their professional leave from January to May, they would be credited with 24 hours of vacation. Okay. Next year, January 1 of 2025, they would be credited with 12 hours. So it's a phase-out process. And then in 2026, they would not be credited with any additional vacation. The professional leave would be gone. Let's see. Right now, we've got about 29 employees that are eligible for this professional leave. Those are the 29 exempt staff. We had 15 employees use that in 2023. I think that total was about 360 hours. They used 336 hours of that time. Job classifications that are affected, you've got your corrections lieutenants, your project managers, and admin, as well as in the Public Works Department, engineers, social workers, administrative service managers, so those type of supervisory positions.
Is this going to be like an equal trade of the same amount of professional development hours will go straight over to the vacation hours, or is there a difference in what they will receive?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
So if they're getting, say, 12 hours of professional leave, are they going to get 12 hours of vacation? Is that a straight trade on what they currently are getting versus what we're proposing?
Right now, they can have up to 24
Right. So
hours or 3 days of professional leave at the discretion of the department head. So the employees now, if they're eligible for it, if they have not used any by May 1st, anyone that is eligible for that will be credited with the 24 hours.
24, okay, so
Yes.
it's a straight, okay.
It'll be straight, and then next year, it'll be cut in half and then totally eliminated in the third year.
Now, when you mentioned about the phasing out of this professional leave, would they still, like, say they don't use it at all, does it just stay in like a bank, if you want to say, until they use it, as it goes throughout the phase out period, or?
No, the professional leave is basically, and it always has been, a use it or lose it.
Okay,
It resets every January 1.
thank you.
But those people who are doing all that overtime and extra work are going to be compensated in vacation in the future, not just not as much, but they will have some type of extra vacation time.
And back to your question too. So once we transfer it over, once it's removed from professional leave and is transferred into vacation, that's not a use it or lose it. That stays there,
Okay.
right? So the first year, this year, employees receive 24 hours. And the proposal is to maintain that 24 hours this year. So anybody that's eligible for it will receive the 24 hours. Next year, it's to reduce it to 12 hours. So January 1st, another 12 hours will go into the bucket,
So they do.
into the vacation bucket.
Right.
Yeah,
And then the following year, no additional hours will go into the vacation bucket.
maybe phased out completely.
So it's phased out completely.
Okay. Any other further discussion about this agenda item? Okay. And Mary, were you contacted by anyone to request to make any comments on this?
We were.
Oh, okay.
You know, HR has received, probably 5 or 6 phone calls during the last few days about this benefit. Employees expressing their concern. We do have a couple of employees that would like to speak
Okay.
to you today. Danielle Geese is the Chief Deputy at Public Works. She's here to talk to you today, as well as Zach Hergenrader, and he is one of our engineers, our senior engineer at our Public Works Department.
Okay. Mary, the meeting is open for comments.
You want to call them up?
Oh, yes, I'd like to call them up to the front. Yep. Daniel, okay.
Good afternoon.
Hello, how you doing today?
I'm Danielle Geese.
And I'm Zach Hergenrader.
Okay.
So I guess I have a few concerns about getting rid of the professional leave. What I did was compare our leave situation to what other agencies have, such as Papillion, Douglas County, City of Omaha, Offutt Air Force Base. And what I found is we're already lagging behind those agencies as far as leave goes for the whole year. What I did was looked at annual leave, sick leave, holiday, and then administrative or professional days, whichever they called it. So even with our 3 administrative or professional days, we're still way behind these entities. For example, if we look at just somebody that's been working here for 5 years, at the end of the year, we'll have 312 total hours of leave. Compared to Douglas County, they're sitting at 336 hours already. Offutt Air Force Base, 348 hours. Papillion, 328, and City of Omaha, 408 hours. And that's compared to our 312, and that's with the administrative days that we're allowed right now. If you take those away, we're sitting all the way down at 288 hours. I've talked to coworkers, they're upset about this. If this gets passed, you're gonna have a lot of upset people and it's gonna hurt retainage. We also use this as a recruiting tool. It's hard enough to get people to sign on to the county. We use this as an extra incentive to get them in. I know they're proposing 40 additional hours, but I don't know. It's hard to justify getting people to come in when we're losing these hours.
And not only that, but we've hired, but this was part of the negotiation packages when we've hired, you know, these staff members, and now we have to say we're gonna take this away. I mean, work and life balance is important, time off is important, along with, you know, wages in today's world, so,
And one last thing on this, let's see. I guess my question is, what's the reason for eliminating it? Most of these employees that are affected, they're already on salary, so the money's there already. So the county wouldn't be saving any money if we eliminate these administrative or professional days. So I guess from my standpoint, I think it's a terrible idea to eliminate the professional days. We're already lagging behind other agencies in terms of days off. It's going to kill morale for employees that are already working for the county, and it's going to hurt our recruitment of new employees to the county. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Did you have something else you wanted to?
well, and not to mention, new hires are gonna get 40 hours, yes, in a bank, but the current employees who receive these administrative days will lose it. So you're giving, but taking away the tenured employees. So they don't get a bank anything further after 2026. It's just gone. So, yeah, I think that there's gonna be some issues with that.
Okay,
It will hurt morale, at least in our office.
okay.
Question, how did you pick these entities as your comparables?
Because they're local to us and they're similar in the functions that they perform.
Mary? Would it have been better maybe to use the same comparables that the rest of the county employees have to use on their wage studies?
You know, with these, you know, we do
I
look
don't-
at we do look at the local market. We try to keep up with the local market for sure. And, you know, the other entities that the county uses are the CIR comparables, which are out of state comparables, so.
Well, I guess I'm just asking, can this be revisited, looking at comparables that are CIR compliant, that the county has compared to in the past for wages and benefits? I'm sorry, I don't see how the county would compare with the federal government down on Offutt Air Force Base. I mean, it's all the same job market,
Right.
but in a
Yeah, we can certainly provide you any information you'd like to see, for sure.
how would we go about tabling until we can get that information?
We would just table it till the next meeting.
Yeah, we'll just table it to the
Do we
next
need a
meeting.
vote on
We'll
that?
Making a motion to table it.
Yeah,
Motion to table, okay.
Or would it be table or hold over?
motion to table.
Is there
I
any
would
more
make a motion
information?
to table this agenda item until the comparables for the benefit study can be done.
But are we closing discussion? Yeah, I don't know that the discussion's
Oh,
closed yet.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I got more questions.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have some questions as well.
yep.
Go ahead.
No, not for them, for Mary.
So are you guys in the interview process when you're hiring people?
Yes.
Okay, so do you believe this is something as far as a recruitment tool to be able to keep this, or is it extra vacation time something that would alleviate some of that pain? Not for the current people, for the recruitment side of it. If the increase in the vacation time, is that something that can even that out?
I think so. If we can come to an agreement on that, because this is 24 hours every year.
Right.
The last item that was on the agenda was a one-time 40-hour deal. I think the administrative or professional days would mean a lot more to people.
Okay.
I'm directing this to either of you. What do you think is the utilization of the people that you say you talked with? What do you believe is the utilization of this current professional leave?
Extra time off.
No. What is the utilization?
Mary had that.
I know I use all mine.
Yeah, everyone uses it all.
You believe
In our
that from the
office,
groups that you surveyed, everybody who's eligible uses all of it every year?
In our office, yeah. I can't speak to other departments, but
I was just asking on your experience. Thank you.
We had 15 out of the 29 that used it for this breed last year.
I heard that part, but I was asking about their specific experience in those two different areas. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. So, Zach and Daniel, I mean, do you work for the county?
yes,
Okay.
Public Works Department.
Public Works Department? Okay, thanks.
So this professional leave has got to be approved by the department head, correct? Is that how that works?
Correct.
Right, so the department head, how did the department heads feel about this being gone? I mean, I'm sure you get different responses from different department heads for this, but I would think it would be a tool that they would like to use possibly.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm a department head, and it's definitely a tool that we use.
Okay.
And
So-
it's utilized thoroughly for our office. It's a great incentive, so.
I've had some concerns from the department heads.
You've had some, and so what was the thought process of getting rid of it then? Why are we looking to get rid of that 24 hours?
It was Commissioner Kelly asked that we take a look at this and, try to phase that out if we could. We went down that path. Last Tuesday, they approved it for the unclassified service, removing those days. And so now we're here for the classified service.
Was this due to any financial constraints from the county or?
No, it's not. I wouldn't say it's a financial constraint. It is a, with exempt employees, if employees work extra hours on Monday, then maybe they can flex their time on Tuesday. So that, if they would prefer that it's flexed within the 2-week pay period versus having these built-in days, if you will.
Okay.
However, there are weeks that there are many weeks you cannot do that. You might have 50 hours in a week, or you might have 45 hours, or,
Back to back.
back to back.
Pay
And so
periods.
you can't use it within that pay period, especially for our department during construction season and things like that, or winter operations. I mean, it just depends on what's going on, so.
Danielle, do you feel that this professional leave would keep in place just the morale of Sarpy County employees?
Yes, I've been here over 30 years, and I know the department well, and I think it would benefit all the departments to keep this in place. Just the feedback that I've heard from others and from Public Works alone. Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. So now he can make a motion to table it.
All right, so in regards to the agenda item number 3, I'd like to make a motion to table this agenda item for further discussion. Do I? Oh, yeah, I can yes. Yeah, ask for a motion.
Make the motion.
I'd like to make a motion to table the agenda item until a comparability study can be done on the benefits using the same criteria that the county has to with the CIR for other employee groups.
I second.
And I know that's going to be a little bit more difficult on the professional side. That just keeps us comparing oranges and oranges.
We had a second.
I second.
Yep, with John. Okay.
Send to votes. 4 yea, 1
And the four, when we do this vote, this is just a table,
Right.
yeah, so,
I don't have Stevens. Yeah, okay, 5 yea, motion carries.
okay.
Do we need a separate item on K under the same thing?
Yes.
You said on K?
Because it's new language.
Okay. What's in there? Okay. So, is that in the item 4? Yeah, item 4, okay. So, moving on to agenda item 4, to discuss and make recommendations on revisions to the personnel rules and regulations, Rule 12, type of leave, Regulation 2, which is vacation, presented by Mary Davis, the HR Director.
Okay, this deals with Section K, or a new Section K, it's for rehires. Again, it's a recruitment tool. A lot of times we have employees that leave and want to come back to the county, and this is just one way to get great employees back, is to credit their years of service, their previous years of service, if they've served a minimum of 5 years, credit their years of service for the accrual of vacation when they start.
And strictly the accrual of vacation time.
Right, so if they had previously served for 10 years,
Yeah.
then they would accrue at the 10-year mark when they re-enter county service.
Doesn't matter how long you were gone.
No.
I've seen these where they put that in there as well. If you've gone too long, then you gotta start all over.
Point of clarification. I don't see that we can take action on this since we don't have clarity on the first part of the modifications. Am I seeing that correctly? We can't approve revisions on K within policy or on Rule 12 because we haven't addressed the professional leave conversion within the vacation policy.
Okay.
Is there any reference to personal leave in item K? No.
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 I think you could vote today, but if you wanted to table it as well, you can.
Okay.
I think it makes
You
sense.
want to do the whole
I think
thing?
it makes sense to resolve the previous rule.
Because I don't think this has anything to do with, even though it's in the same regulation,
It's
it's
within the same
completely
rule.
separate.
That's true, Randy, but why would we can just take one action on Rule 12 when they get finalized language in comparison. That's the way I would see it.
All right.
The board is in agreements?
Do we
To
need a motion
table it?
on that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'd like to get a motion to table agenda item number 4.
I so move.
Second,
Okay, is there anything that we should know on that before we vote completely? I mean, is there anything extra that you want to add to that?
No.
Okay,
Come in next time.
and then it's one big package.
Correct.
Okay, send to votes. Four yea, motion, or 5 yea, motion passes.
Okay. Moving right along, we're gonna go to agenda item number 5, which is the appointment of a Personnel Policy Board member to the Merit Award Committee.
Yes. If you recall, back in December, this board approved new language for the Merit Award. And just to recap for our new members, what that Merit Award is basically, in a nutshell, department heads, elected officials have the ability to nominate employees who have exceptional job performance to receive a merit award. The merit award, when we presented it in December, we had it at 1% of the workforce up to 2% of the employee's annual salary. The county board, when we took it to the county board, they wanted to see 2% of the workforce and a maximum of 3% annual salary. So that's what was actually approved. So more employees would be eligible for it, and then at a little bit higher rate than the 2%. At that time, when we talked about that, we'll have a merit award committee, if you will, and these people will be responsible for reviewing all of the applications and ranking them, discussing them to see which, if we have more than the 2% of the workforce, then we need to narrow that down a little bit. So this committee will be tasked with doing that. And so when we discussed this the last time, we talked about having that committee really be reflective of the Personnel Policy Board with members from elected officials and department heads. We have classified employees, a member appointed by the county board, and we'd like to have a member appointed by the Personnel Policy Board to serve on that committee for us as well. So that's, and it, I'm sorry, one more thing to add. The deadline for these, this is really in conjunction with the budget. So the deadline for those applications is June 1st. So the committee will meet in June to go over those nominations and then award, make those awards with an effective July date. The employees will be paid in July.
All right.
So the request is to have a representative of this serve on that committee?
The request is to have a nominee or an appointed person from the Personnel Policy Board.
And that is made by the commissioners?
This would be made by you.
No, the commissioners are making that request that we be represented, or is that coming from?
That was coming from when we had our discussion at the last meeting in December, that there was the request that it be reflective of the Personnel Policy Board and just basically what we do. And so if I'm offering, if the Personnel Policy Board would like to sit on that committee, we would be more than welcome to have a member of that so that you're aware of what's going on.
And that's a standing membership, voting privileges for a
Correct.
indeterminate amount of time?
As long as you're serving on this board, I think.
Well,
You'd have to be
that's
serving on the board.
indeterminate then.
But yes,
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
yes.
I'd be happy to serve on it.
Any objections? Okay. So do we have a nomination for vice chairperson?
Yeah, I'll nominate Diane.
Second.
Okay.
Okay, Randy did the nomination, and who's the second? I'm sorry.
Forrest,
Thank you.
Yeah.
George.
That's close.
All
I've
right.
been called worse.
Do we need to vote on that? Okay,
Yep. So,
move to vote.
yep.
4 yeas, 1 abstain, motion carries.
Okay, so we have a nomination. Congratulations, Diane.
Thanks.
Okay.
My mom always said it was special.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and move right along to agenda item number 6, to discuss and make recommendations or revisions to the reestablishment of employee and management advisory committees, discussion on handbook format, and discussion on process for complete review of personnel reviews and regulations, presented by Mary Davis, the HR Director.
Back in 2011, the civil service, the county was required to adopt the civil service rules and regs. At that time, they created a management advisory committee and an employee advisory committee to go over those rules and regs. And they're known today as the county's personnel rules and regs, obviously. We'd like to reestablish that committee. Those committees have not been in place for a number of years, so we are in the process of reestablishing those committees. The Employee Advisory Committee is made up of classified employees from all aspects. All bargaining units are represented, and then the non-union classified employees are represented by that group. The management group basically is department heads, elected officials. And so the goal is, my goal is to take a complete look at all of the rules and regs we currently have and update those policies, bring those policies forward. We'll take them to the advisory committees and then ultimately bring them to you for approval. It'll be pretty labor intensive as we move through this year. I'd like to have it done, hopefully, by the end of the year. We'll see. But that would be the goal. Part of that is just updating the format. And what you have in front of you is just a sample. This is a sample format that, I would just like to just discuss. Basically, it brings all of our rules and regs into one location. Right now, we have our personal rules and regs. We have policy bulletins that are out there. It is my opinion, the opinion of the county attorney's office, that all of those policy bulletins really need to be coming in front of the Personnel Policy Board for approval. So we will be doing that. We'll basically be combining all of those into one document. So it's really a one-stop shop for the employees. We will have at the end of the day, it is our hope, to have a handbook for the classified service and a handbook for the unclassified service. For the most part, those will be very, very similar, but there would be some differences.
Yeah.
So when you take a look at this format, when you get to you have the basic table of contents or whatever, and then you have the welcome, basic introduction. But when you get behind this employment section, and then the policy format is the last page. It looks like this. So basically, this format, I already have a change, of course, but this format will be applied, it will be the header for each policy. In addition to the approval of the Board of Commissioners, it will also have the approval of the Personnel Policy Board, okay, and what that date is, okay? And then as we, move forward, this is set up so that basically, once you make those changes, you take the old pages out and you insert the new pages. So that is just a recommendation, just to update the book a little bit. Right now, it's a very structured rules and regulations and things. And so this is, like I said, it's just to update, have more modern language, if you will, and just make sure that all of our policies are in one place, and all of the needs, all of your recommendations and things are covered, as well as the department heads, elected officials, and the employees.
So besides format, there will be language changes?
There will be some language changes, and those will come to you in a legislative format, so you can see what those language changes are. I do have a question for you, though. Some of the policies, in my opinion, I would like to have a complete, a rewrite, if you will. Not change any of the intent of the language. It's just a rewrite. So when there are significant changes, I'll always present you a clean copy too, so you can distinguish, because it's so hard to read all of the red lines and things of that nature. So you'll be able to see those. And we'll always be able to walk through all of the changes that are made.
Okay.
When do you want to get this done by?
Next week.
It took us a while to do it the first time.
It did, and we met a lot more than what we're meeting now. So I just want to know, what we're looking at.
Yeah, so really it's going to depend on You know, it would be nice to have it done by the end of the year. Not going to hold anybody to that date, but that's a goal. And then it really depends on when we can all meet. So, and I know we're entering the summer season when people are traveling and things. So if this board can meet starting July, if this board can meet maybe once a month to kind of go through the process or the sections, if you will, that would be great. We would get them out to you ahead of time and have you take a look at them.
That was my next request.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as long as, you know, I mean, if you want to do it by the end of the year, you know, lay it out, so you've got this many on this month, this many, and then, so we can be completed at the end of the year. I'm all in favor of meeting once a month, maybe more if we have to get it done, but, you know.
Like I said, some of it's just gonna be cleaning up archaic language.
Oh, correct.
And others
It could be
gonna
pretty
be,
quick, right?
others gonna be
Maybe.
flip the whole thing over, start all over.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's the nature of the,
May I ask additional question on the policy
Absolutely.
bulletins, which you referenced?
Yes.
You said that you want to incorporate them. What is the purpose of the policy bulletins? What's the frequency of the policy bulletins? And frequency, and then what's the total volume of those policy bulletins which you want to incorporate in the revisions?
It is my understanding that the policy bulletins were created because they cover countywide, all county employees. So for an example, there's a weather policy, right? Or there is a travel policy. Trying to think off the top of my head.
Cell phone.
Cell phone policies, those kinds of things that cover all county employees, but they really need to go in front of the Personnel Policy Board as well, you know, for your input, because they do cover the classified service. They are, you know, they're members, I mean, they cover the classified service, and the rules and regs say that you need to be notified of those.
So those are revisions or enhancements of the policies which we passed on use of electronics, I mean, that sort of thing?
They're completely separate. You don't have them in your rules and regs.
They're touching on different areas.
They're touching on
in
different
those
areas.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you for
Yep.
clarifying that.
Yep.
Yeah, that probably should then be considered by this committee.
Sure. And again, it's basically a one-stop shop for the employees. All of their benefits, all of the county HR policies are all in one convenient place. Because right now they are kind of scattered, and it's a little hard to decipher sometimes.
Yes. Yeah. I would agree. Good to have those things in one area, one book.
So if you're okay with that format, that's the path I will go down. If you'd like to see something different as far as the format goes, we can talk about that as well.
I actually like this format, and I like the fact that you're changing just the one policy date instead of the whole book. It was horrible when we would do that, and not you guys, but in my previous world. You changed the whole book, and no one really knew where the changes were if they were going to go look. So I like that you're changing each one.
Okay. Sounds good. So do we have any further discussion on this agenda item? Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the reestablishment of employee and management advisory committees, discussion on handbook format, and discussion on process for complete review of personnel rules and regulations?
I'll move that we accept it. Yeah.
Second.
Okay. Go ahead and do the vote.
Five yea, motion carries.
Okay. All right, everyone. Well, we're moving to agenda item number 7, which is adjournment. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
second.
Second? Okay.
Thank you, folks.
Jonathan, I don't know if you saw Randy was over here.
5 motion carries.
So do you guys have,